Good morning. How is everybody doing? My name is Penny. If you're finding me for the first time, please like my page. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that. We want to invite everyone into our personal space because a mentor needs a mentor. A leader needs a leader. So I'm here to try and inspire you. I'm here to try and educate you. If there's something you can learn, it will be wonderful. And once we learn these things, we are able to live in peace and harmony within our communities. May is the Mental Health Awareness Month, and we said we are going to focus on self-care because if you are healthy, you are a lovable person. And if you are healthy, you're going to make sure that you check yourself to make sure that everything is okay. A healthy person has healthy relationships, and that's why we come here to, to bring you guys to, I'm using my personal journal, to what we are doing. And not everybody is aware that they are not taking care of themselves. And in this time that we've had COVID, we find ourselves so busy helping everybody else and we neglect ourselves. And that's why we want to talk about mental health and bring it to your attention that you need to self-care. Yesterday, I think a couple of days ago, I saw a post of someone put a post and asked the people, the celebrity that died and you felt affected the most. As I was going through the comments, I took maybe 3 to 4 minutes on that post to see who people were mourning the most. And the most mourned person on that post was Robin Williams. Robin Williams was a comedian. Hi, everybody. How is everybody doing? Caroline, how are you, Baba? And he made people laugh. Laughter is medicine. He made people laugh. But he was struggling. Behind the scenes, he was struggling. And people felt the pain because it probably caught them by surprise. Because you see these people on TV, you don't know them. So there's your celebrity that you see online. You don't know them, but they really add value to your life. And that's why we take a minute and just step back and try to reflect upon ourselves, because we give people too much and yet we don't give ourselves the care that we need. So we are going to move on to day 3, and I'm just going to read directly from my journal so that way you're invited. Get your piece of paper and pen and write it down. Rest is a gift from God. Resting. I struggle to rest, but resting is a gift from God. In the book of Psalms, it says, it's useless to rise up and early, and it's useless to rise early and go to bed late, and you work your worried fingers to the bone. Don't you know he enjoys giving rest to those who he loves? So God does want you to rest. Read Psalms 127 verses 2. Okay, and I'm going to read. Work can feel like it's something that you're supposed to do. Some of us, we carry our work to our homes. In 2011, when I had my last son, I said goodbye to taking my work home. I left a job. Anne, how are you? Loan, how are you? I left a job that I was carrying at home. We carry the job to our houses. Some of us, we just literally bring the job to the house. Okay? Even though you're home, you're answering work calls, you're looking at your email, you're texting, and you're thinking that you're being productive because you're trying to pay your bills, not realizing you're not giving yourself time to rest because you've worked for 8 hours, and then you carry your job to your house, add maybe 2 hours that you've taken out of your family to do work at home. The work guilt is real, where you're thinking you need to bring your work at home. And then when I left that job in 2012, I stepped into another world where I'm self-employed. When I'm self-employed, I'm driven by myself. So I need to know when to stop. I need to know I'm making these beats from 9 to 5. After 5, I'm putting them down and I'm focusing on my family. Okay? The best way to take care of yourself is to pause from your normal work and put it down. And then just set a time aside where you know that moving forward, I'm not going to do any office work. I'm not going to do any errands. Women, listen to me. The reason why I quit my job in 2011 because I had 4 children, I was working 40 hours, and I was coming home to a full-time job. Women who have children, raising a family is a full-time job. If you're doing a good job with your children, I want you to know that you're working 40 hours the same way you're working at your place of work. So don't think that, coming home, cleaning, making fresh dinner, dropping your kids different places, making your house clean. Don't think that's not a job. So you're literally working 16 hours a day. My days used to start at 6 a.m. I used to wake up at 4:30. My shift to clock in was 6 a.m. and I did not clock out until 9 p.m. when I put my children to bed. So you're running yourself raggedy, you're running yourself down, you burn out because you're thinking that you're supposed to do all these things. So sit down and create a conscious mind and ask yourself, after you leave your place of work, this is the question to write down. Get your piece of paper and a pen. The question that you're supposed to ask yourself, how often do you work outside of your normal hours? Your normal hours is the regular job you have, and your house is a job. When you come to your house, that's a full-time job. Some jobs can wait. You don't have to do everything in one sitting, okay? The other question you need to write down, do you find that it takes more time to do tasks when you do that? Okay, when you're bringing your work from outside, you're bringing to work. And sometimes you're taking your work from your housework from your house, you're taking it to your job. Okay? Then the other question you need to ask yourself, what could you be doing to rest and restore yourself during that time instead? When is your resting time? What is the definition for resting? When you talk about resting, what are you resting from? Okay? Keep it moving. They're talking about regular exercise and how often are you exercising to clear your mind? Okay? We are not created to spend all the time sitting or doing something or being on our phones. We are created to walk around, enjoy the fresh air, take walks, enjoy the scenery, look at the green trees, look at the flowers. How often are you disconnecting from your job and from your family to just take a walk where you're doing nothing, or sit at the porch and have a cup of tea with your friend? If you're not drinking alcohol, you can have, porridge. How often are you doing that? How often are you looking at the green plants? Do you know the value that it adds to your life? And then here's the pen and write it down. What type of exercises do you do that even just doing this? What is that exercise that you do? Now, sometimes we need a little push to get into exercise mode and to get into a habit. For me, I schedule my exercises and I know I'm a planner. I know the day I'm going to do what. I have it set ahead. Here is some of the ideas that can get you to have a structure for yourself. Commit to a class workout program. 2 years ago, I learned how to swim, but I just went and signed for that swimming class every Friday because I don't work on Friday, and I went into a swimming class for 2 semesters. I'm not a great swimmer. I'm not going to compete, but if I fall in water, I can swim out to safety. But I signed up for that class. Pick a podcast that you love and listen to it. There's a podcast I listen to. It's on Apple. If you want that podcast, DM me. I share it with you. When I listen to that podcast, I just feel so refreshed. Listen to a podcast, listening to something that can grow you, or find a radio station, or go to YouTube, listening to something that is refreshing. Disconnect from the world and give that podcast 100%. Reward yourself to the favorite breakfast, or favorite meal. This Friday, friends of mine from my work, we went and had breakfast. Just sat there, we ate and we laughed. Of course, we talked about work. We gossiped a little. What else can you do with your coworkers? You gossip about all. When I say gossip, meaning we talk about work. We are not talking really per se who did what, because we are in different departments. But we just sat there and had breakfast, and we paid from our paycheck. The other thing you can do, join a social group, crocheting. I've been in a crocheting group. Join a group where you can go crochet. I've joined a hiking group. I've joined a bowling group. These groups, you can go online and find them. Join that group, because in that group, especially for you single people, I always find people there. Me, I'm married. People love me in those groups when I go there, especially the ones with men. Hey, you single people, go there. I just apologize. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm married, and they feel so bad. But I take myself to those groups and I join the groups. If you have a gym, join the team that has exercise. Join the Zumba, join the groups. You find people. That's how you talk to people, because you have something in common. The other thing you can do, have a buddy, somebody that can hold you accountable, somebody that can be looking for you and ask you, where are you? I didn't see you. Do that. Have that accountability partner who's checking on you. Did you work out, Penny, today? Did you take your supplements? Did you go to your swimming class? How is your swimming class? Get that accountability partner. How do you deal with your stress is another thing that they will challenge that you need to ask yourself. Write down how do you deal with your stress. In the book of Psalms, the Bible says, tonight I will sleep securely on a bed, peace, because I trust you. You alone, O eternal one, will keep me safe. Psalms 4:8. When you go to bed, are you in bed thinking about 2,000 things? I learned something years ago, and I read it in a book. Around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I stopped thinking about anything that needs thinking. I literally disconnect. If I have a friend to talk to, I laugh. After 6 p.m., I'm not thinking serious matters, because I've been up since 5 a.m. Why am I thinking? I stopped thinking around 6 p.m. because I want to go to bed and sleep. I start thinking as soon as I wake up. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah, or Tara, for writing that verse down. Actually, you can even write the other one. You can write Proverbs 31:17. That's a good one. Psalms 127 verses 2. That's good. Write it for people to read. As soon as I wake up, the first thing I do is pray. I pray for all my children. I itemize them. I pray for my husband. I make sure he's breathing next to me. I pray for my mom. There's a list of people that I pray for without writing them down. I do that. I gain consciousness. I look at the time. And then I read a Bible verse. There's a woman in Australia that I follow that sends me Bible verses. She's a Kenyan, but she lives in Australia. I read those Bible verses every single day, and I post them on Facebook. That I start the day like that. Okay? So how you start your day is whatever you're going to think, you start thinking. I start thinking at that time. If I had something that I needed to think about, that's when I start thinking about it. Do not think when you're in bed. If you're married, when you get to bed, it's time to make love. It's time to massage your spouse. It's time to just forget about everything and just be in the moment. Be in the moment, talk to your spouse, and go to sleep peacefully, and then you start the day tomorrow. That's what married people are supposed to do. If you're single, just put a podcast and go to sleep. Don't think about anything. Stop thinking around 6 p.m. Thinking is for the next day. Stress takes a toll on your body, physically and emotionally. Even stress can make you sick, can give you a headache. Okay? Stress can elevate your heartbeat. Stress can increase your blood pressure. Stress can lead into a brain fog. The best way to combat stress is by breathing. Take a few minutes when you're feeling stressed. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath and breathe in and breathe out. Think about that. Take a minute. Clear your mind. While you're breathing, clear your mind. Don't think about anything. Keep doing this until you feel calm. Don't overthink. Once you start breathing in, stop thinking and breathe in. And write this down. How is breathing exercise is going to help me feel. So write it down that you're supposed to take a breath. Just stop. When you're feeling like things are going wrong, stop. Take a deep breath and exhale. While you're breathing, do not think about anything. And then they're asking, you're going to do this. I've done this before. While you're focusing on breathing, inhaling and exhaling, what did you feel without thinking about anything? Did you feel relaxed? How did you feel just disconnecting from the whole world? You just want to exercise that tranquility. And then the last thing is to choose wisely what you are thinking or what you're doing. And on this one, Otara, write it for them, is 1 Corinthians 10:23. Okay? It says, I have the right to do anything, you say, but not everything is beneficial. I have the right to do anything, but not everything is constructive. That's what that Bible verse says for those of us who are Christians. Okay? Sometimes we make choices. Sometimes we make good choices. Sometimes we make bad choices. Out of the choices that you make, I've told you the choices I've made through my journal. I have a pencil and a paper, and it's a workbook. I write inside the workbook. Look at your choices. What are the choices that you're making that are not good choices for you? What are choices that you're tempted to make that are going to harm you? Review your choices that you've made over the day, over the week, over the month, over the years. You're responsible for the kind of choices you make when you turn 18. And then the question you're going to write, that you're going to think about, which less than healthy choices are you most guilty of giving into? Which less than healthy choices are you most guilty of giving into? It could be, yesterday we spoke about overindulging. I've drunk before and I had a headache the next day. Bad choice. I have been on the phone instead of posting items. I'm scrolling through posts for more than 10 minutes. Bad choice. I've eaten and I just overate. Bad choice. Review your good and bad choices. And actually share this video as you come in. There's about 20 of you. You can share this video. God is going to bless you because you're going to bless somebody. Okay? And then the question you're going to ask yourself, which uncomfortable feelings are those urges and cravings related to? What is the uncomfortable feeling that you get once you've made those bad choices? You're craving alcohol, you're craving food, you're just overeating, you're overindulging. What feelings do those things that you overdid or bad choices, it gives you bad feelings. But you need to be aware of those bad choices, because if you're aware of the bad choices you're going to make with a piece of paper and a pen, next time you will not make those choices. But if you're not aware, you're going to continue to make bad choices every day. You're going to make bad choices weekly. You're going to make bad choices monthly. You're going to make bad choices the whole time for years. And then they're going to ask you to write down what are the healthier choices that you can replace with the bad choices that you've been making. With that, will that satisfy you? With the good choices, the feeling you get when you finally say, you know what, I made a good choice because I started resting. I made a good choice because I learned a skill. I made a good choice because I learned to choose my words. I don't want to. What are those choices? Write that down. All right? So thank you for tuning in. Go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, share this video, and invite your friends. I hope you learned something. I hope you're inspired. And I hope you're going to do things from this little talk that are going to give you peace within yourself and within your community. Thank you so much, and please like this video and share this video. God bless you.